The finals just got a brand new update 1.7, which covers a broad range of topics like VoIP and even XP. We have the Nexon earnings call with a very bold statement about Season 2, which also talks about the game's potential future, and a few other notable details and changes that have happened throughout the week. We got a lot to talk about. What's up, world? Should be back if they're channel all things to final. Okay, so let's jump right into the patch notes. Again, as we always do, we have the opening statements. Now, sometimes the Discord opening statement and the patch note opening statement can be a little bit different from each other. However, they mostly cover the same topics. I'm just going to go over the patch note opening statement here, which says this week we are rolling out changes to progression with several adjustments to how XP is earned. Obviously, both those changes will help you with the battle pass and career ranks. Also, a big important note here is that the default settings for VoIP have been reset for all players, and with the notable change there, they did say that a good communication is required for a lot of good gameplay. This is something that I've been preaching since my beta videos, where I really hoped that for the full release they were going to make default setting to be on, or at least that voice chat would be on by default. Most other FPS games that I can think of, like Fortnite, Call of Duty, and even Apex, usually have voice chat on by default, and unfortunately with this game not having it on by default, it's really added to the lack of communication, where I've noticed that there hasn't been a lot of vocal chatting between players, and so I hope this change really does fix that, which I hope that change wasn't made too late, although I have noticed a little bit more voice chatting. It does seem odd that the 3-player or 3-party games like Apex and the finals have troubles with the voice chat, at least as finding players that are willing to actually talk to you. Instead of having to go to Discord groups or have your own group of friends there, you can actually solo queue and it'd be quite fun with communication. So we'll see how that does fare in the next coming weeks here. And a last note here that said, finally we are aware of the problems with the explosive power of the red canisters and that barrels have unintentionally stacking damage. You can expect a fix on these issues in the next major update. So finally we are getting an even more major fix for nukes that people have been using in kind of like, I guess, not really an exploit, but just kind of an overpowered weapon and item. So it's good to see with a lot of the player feedback and a lot of the community feedback there, they are making even adjustments with that. Now, for the longest time, a lot of people have not liked the Go Boom game show event, or at least the event in general. And an actual dev note here is that they said that we feel the event punishes melee users too much at its present state. So they're disabling it for now, and they hope to bring it back after a rework at some point. Although I think most people didn't really like the playlist, and there's even been multiple threads that have been super excited, as well as this highly upvoted thread that's glad it's gone. So some of us, I feel like, don't want it back at all. However, if they do kind of implement some sort of change there and make it a little bit more fun, maybe I could see it coming back and actually being enjoyable. Here's another big one. They added a play again button to the end of round sequence, allowing players and parties to quickly get into their next match. This is obviously a great change, as even games like Fortnite do have a play again button, and I think that that is obviously really good, and that does help with partying up with people. However, for now it just seems like a play again button and not really a stay as team button, although I do hope that maybe they do add that in the future. Now, of course, we do have the VoIP changes. However, they were changed for new installs, but now they're changed for everybody across the board. Now, obviously, both the VoIP have been enabled for both console and PC by default. If you do have push to talk on PC, that will be set as default as well. That is for existing players that have that setting already turned on. They added another dev note here, so that we want to encourage more team play in matches, and enabling VoIP for all players is part in the effort. Players can disable the VoIP in VIA settings, and they do kind of give you a warning message as soon as you load up. As with the new players in previous patch with 1.5, they did see some positive results there, so they are doing it for everybody. And then again here we do have the major progression changes, where they did increase the amount of XP for weekly contracts, weekly goals, and even weekly contracts that need to be completed. Their goal has been set from 8 to 6, so you do have that decrease there for your week goal, which will net you a much higher XP count from 4,000 to 9,000, as well as that weekly contract from 2,000 to 4,500. And again, they have further increases of XPs here. Most of them are a jump of around 50 to 100%, some even a bit more than that, but we will see a large XP increase across the board for most of the things that you do within the game. So a lot of good changes around the board here. Yeah, they weren't a ton of changes, but some excellent ones that the community has been really after, especially after we had so many people complain about the battle pass XP, the nukes, the VoIP stuff, and a lot of other things there. This does really feel like a very good update tailored to player feedback. Now, one last notable change here that happened throughout the week is that leaving a tourney after your teammates have left is no longer penalized. So if you do have teammates that leave in a ranked tourney or tournament mode, you won't actually be penalized if you do leave early, as the other teammates have already left the game. A nice notable change there, as this has been a lot of people's grievances with the ranked mode. So now if you do have a lacking missing teammate or you have teammates that leave and you don't want to finish up the match, you can go ahead and leave with no penalty. Now, we do actually have the Nexon earnings call, or at least the earnings report for Q4, where they also even mention stuff about Season 2 in the game's future. I'll go over those important parts here, as a lot of this is just kind of mostly corporate talk. They do mention a really nice thing here about the game, where they said that breakthrough innovation by Embark distinguished the finals from last year's crowded field of shooter games, which I do really agree that the finals has made a dent in the actual FPS genre, and there is so many other game options, so it is fantastic to see it do that. Now, over here, they do mention Season 2. They say, meantime, Season 2 of the finals is scheduled for March of this year and is expected to stimulate engagement among new and existing players. And they went over here about talking about the multiple patches and updates to the game already, and that they're operating at a very frequent speed, which they definitely are. But here is another big one where they say, and our plan is to begin a robust and sustained marketing campaign starting with Season 2, which is absolutely massive. There's going to be a lot of financial backing with this next season, which seems like they're putting even more effort into Season 2, both with the marketing and potentially the game itself. They also wanted here to say the finals is already the strongest start of any virtual world in Nexon's history, and they will implement a relentless cadence of content updates, running a marathon at a sprint pace, which it does seem like they've been doing that already. So the fact that they're even kind of more elaborating to that seems like we're going to get even more frequent updates, and it being its strongest start of Nexon history and Nexon having a large financial backing, it does seem like they're all in with the finals, and I do think we're going to see a ramp back up in player count, especially with Season 2. I'm really excited to see what's going to happen with the game's future, especially after reading this earnings call. I am really excited for what March has to bring. Now, the Easter egg scene has still been popping off. There are a few channels now that are discussing both the lore and the Easter eggs. We also have a new teaser image, what looks like at least a teaser image here that I'll showcase now, definitely being broken down by the Easter egg hunting community. However, we do have another channel that was added to the Discord for lore reasons and just kind of discussing the game in general, as well as even a build specific section that I know a lot of people have been talking about lately with different build videos and different build guides. So if you're looking to have more of a discussion around the build stuff and want to kind of find different builds and maybe like hang out with other people that play the same class, there's all 3 classes here that you can go to and check out their builds, and they do have this added now to Discord. So those channels are now up for that specifically. And then again, they also do have that new lore channel that will also add to the kind of Easter egg hunt, as well as kind of just casual chat for dropping theories. Again, I'll try to leave a link down below to the actual Discord, so that way if you do need to join or haven't joined as of yet, that way you can join in. Now, I still think this is a little funny last minute mentionable here, but it's this post here on Reddit that says Embark keeps improving the game but still never mentions facial hair. And yeah, I still don't know why they haven't added like a cosmetic for facial hair. I feel like this has been asked for months now. However, I'm assuming they eventually have it planned to be rolled out, or some type of facial hair that you could add to your character. Maybe it's for optimization reasons with hair, because hair is always an issue with games, or maybe they are just waiting and banking on people wanting the facial hair so much so that they buy it from the store. And also another late minute mentionable here, I usually don't go over store stuff, but we do have another store update where it is pertaining to the Super Bowl. So we do have that new bundle here with the like little football bundle, which I think is really cool, kind of not collaboration, but essentially kind of in essence of what is happening here with the Super Bowl weekend that is coming up this Sunday. So some pretty cool stuff there if you do want to check it out. It is in the game now. As always, that shit about cover for today's video. If you like and subscribe, and it's the next deuces.